What are some things that you consider particularly American?
Give me a second, let me think.
That's a good question.
Freedom.
Well, freedom.
Democracy.
Cheeseburgers.
Have the same ideas and ideals as the founding fathers and what was written in our Constitution.
Well, obviously, like, democracy and freedom are what America is known for.
Freedom to learn what you want, be what you want,
Freedom of being yourself, freedom to do whatever you want.
within parameters of law, obviously.
Hardworking.
Laziness is a big part of American culture.
Like overzealous patriotism.
Probably our military.
Your sense of individuality.
Pride, like American pride, that's not really grounded in much other than that, like, we're told about it since we're kids and have to pledge it, every day.
Very relative.
Like, you can't really pinpoint it or define it just because there are so many different cultures and people here.
It's a little bit of everything.
When you look at America as a whole, you kind of like bond together as a country more than but when you're actually in America and you're looking at individual people, everybody has their own opinions and they all think different things and most don't agree with each other.
Popular culture just really shapes how we perceive ourselves, our American identity.
The advertisements influence you daily and it influence your perception of things daily.
People have to form their opinions by what they see and hear around them.
Most people generally think what they consume.
Now we live in a society that's really dominated by the media, and so a lot of how we identify with ourselves comes from outside forces.
We consume the same media, we consume the same, national identity through different forms of media.
Today we have more choices as to what we believe or what we're influenced by, and so even if you hear or see one thing, you can always question it, I think, more now.
We've had this idea of going from coast to coast, from sea to sea, and our writing really reflects that. It's interesting that we have this kind of grandiose idea of America, and that's really reflected in our authors and in our documents and our foundational writing.
Rhetoric has defined my sense of American identity in just the way that I see myself. This is the example that I'm given, and I see myself as in relation to that example.
When I see different rhetoric displayed in the media, I'm like, okay, does that apply to me or does that apply to everybody?
So much telling you what to do, who to be.
Getting told too many things, it's kind of harder to think for yourself and find your own identity in the midst of everybody, the ability to say anything to everybody all the time.
I don't know, it's nothing that I really just thought about defining my sense of American identity. I don't think I've ever had to think about it or have ever had to answer that question. And so that in itself is making me wonder, well, what is the American identity? I'm not, I wouldn't know how to define myself.